The video went viral in hours. A cop named HOA, badge gleaming, slamming a gray-haired man's head into the pavement. By nightfall, X was ablaze with hashtags "Shucks Justice for Dad." HOA the tyrant, because nobody knew the old man was a retired sheriff wearing a body cam that caught it all. In the small town of Crestwood, where picket fences and manicured lawns hid simmering grudges, Juan Guyon was a name that sparked fear. A tactical officer with a chip on her shoulder, she patrolled the streets like a hawk, her vest emblazoned with HOA in stark white letters, a mocking nickname from colleagues who saw her as the ultimate Karen. Enforcing rules with a zeal that bordered on obsession, she'd ticket jaywalkers, berate kids for skateboarding, and once fined a widow for a mailbox 2 inches too tall. To Hoa, order was everything. Chaos was the enemy. But Crestwood wasn't just a town, it was a pressure cooker. And Hoa was about to light the fuse. That fuse was Frank Callahan, 62, a retired sheriff who'd spent 30 years upholding the law with quiet dignity. Frank was no saint, he'd locked up his share of troublemakers, but he was fair, the kind of man who'd give you his coat in a storm. After retiring, he moved to Crestwood for peace. Tending his garden and ignoring the petty HOA notices Hoa slipped under his door. His mailbox was non-compliant. His grass was a 1/4 inch too long. Frank ignored them all, chuckling at the absurdity. But Hoa didn't like being ignored. It started on a muggy July evening. Frank was walking his dog, Rusty, when Hoa's patrol car screeched to a stop. "Sir, your dog's off leash," she barked, her hand already on her baton. Frank raised an eyebrow. "He's on my property. Officer, no leash needed." Hoa's eyes narrowed. She wasn't used to pushback. "Step back, sir. Now." Frank, calm but firm, held his ground. "I know the law. Do you?" The argument escalated fast. Hoa, fueled by years of unchecked authority, saw Frank's defiance as a personal affront. She grabbed his arm, twisting it hard. Frank stumbled, and in a flash, Hoa's baton cracked against his skull. He hit the ground, blood pooling under his head, as Rusty barked frantically. What Hoa didn't see was the tiny red light blinking on Frank's chest, a body cam he wore out of old habit, capturing every second of her rage. By morning, the footage was everywhere. Uploaded by Frank's daughter, Lily, a 25-year-old barista with a knack for social media. The clip spread like wildfire. X exploded with outrage. "This is what power-tripping cops do," one post screamed, racking up millions of views. "Ha's a menace," another declared, with a meme of her face photoshopped onto a dictator's body. The hashtags multiplied. Yasharon, Hoa, must go, and Irene Crestwood Karen. Protesters gathered outside the police station, waving signs that read "Justice for Frank" and "End Cop Brutality." Crestwood's sleepy streets turned into a battleground of shouts and pickets. Hub holed up in her apartment, watched the chaos unfold on her phone. She wasn't sorry, not at first. "He provoked me," she told her partner, Mike. Over a shaky call, he wouldn't comply. Mike, a veteran cop with tired eyes, sighed. You slammed a retiree's head into the ground. He's a damn sheriff. You're cooked." But Hoa doubled down, convinced the town would see her side. She posted on X, "I enforce the law. Non-compliance has consequences." The backlash was instant. Her post was ratioed into oblivion, with thousands of replies calling her a tyrant, a bully, a Karen in a badge. Lily, meanwhile, wasn't just fueling the fire, she was pouring gasoline. She'd grown up watching her dad de-escalate bar fights and talk down armed suspects without drawing his gun. Seeing him bloodied on the pavement broke something in her. She organized rallies, live-streamed updates, and shared stories of Hoa's overreach, the single mom fined for a cracked driveway, the teen cuffed for loitering at a park. "This isn't about one incident," Lily said in a viral video, her voice cracking. "It's about a system that lets people like Hoa abuse power." The town split down the middle. Half saw Hoa as a monster, a symbol of everything wrong with unchecked authority. The other half, mostly older residents who craved order, defended her. She keeps Crestwood safe, one woman shouted at a town hall, clutching her purse. You liberals just hate rules, but even they couldn't ignore the body cam footage. HOA's baton swinging, Frank's head hitting the ground, the sickening crack. The evidence was undeniable, and it shifted the tide. Frank, recovering in the hospital with a concussion, didn't want revenge. He wanted change. I've seen good cops and bad ones, he told Lily, his voice hoarse. HOA's not evil. She's lost, but she needs to face the music. He refused interviews, letting the body cam speak for itself. But the public's rage grew louder. Protests turned violent. A brick shattered the police station's window. HOA's address was leaked, and her mailbox was stuffed with hate mail. She stopped going outside, her bravado crumbling under the weight of a town's fury. The breaking point came at a public hearing. The mayor, sweating under the spotlight, announced HOA's suspension pending investigation. The crowd roared, some in triumph, others in anger. Lily stood up, holding a photo of her dad in his sheriff's uniform. This isn't just about my dad, she said, her voice steady now. It's about every person HOA bullied, every life she made harder. We deserve better. The room erupted in applause, but HOA, watching from home, felt something new: shame. Weeks later, the investigation concluded. HOA was fired, her badge stripped. The body cam footage led to new policies, mandatory de-escalation training, stricter oversight. Crestwood began to heal, but the scars remained. HOA moved away, her name forever tied to the scandal. Frank, back in his garden, planted a new rose bush for second chances, he told Lily, smiling faintly. But the story didn't end there. The outrage on X sparked a national conversation. Posts about police reform trended for weeks. Communities shared their own stories of overreach, of Karens in uniforms and suits. Crestwood became a symbol not just of one cop's fall, but of a reckoning. People began questioning the systems that let power go unchecked, the biases that turned rules into weapons. Lily kept fighting. She started a nonprofit for police accountability, funded by donations from the viral campaign. Frank, proud but quiet, joined her at rallies, his body cam now a relic of change. They didn't hate HOA, they pitied her. Karma's a mirror, Frank said once, pruning his roses. It shows you who you really are. HOA, in a new town, started over. She worked security at a mall, her tactical vest replaced by a cheap blazer. Sometimes, late at night, she'd scroll X, reading the old posts about her. The anger stung, but the stories of others, people she'd hurt, cut deeper. She never apologized publicly. Pride wouldn't let her. But in private, she wrote a letter she never sent, addressed to Frank. I thought I was right. I wasn't. Crestwood changed, and so did the world watching it. The fury that began with a baton and a body cam forced people to look at themselves, their towns, their systems. It wasn't just about HOA or Frank. It was about what happens when power forgets humanity. And it started with a single, brutal moment caught on camera that no one could ignore. Join the fight for accountability. Share your story. Demand change. And let's build a world where power serves, not slams.